All right, Drew. Drew is ready to start.
Submit mailbag questions too?
Frank, I think you're going to like this. And Scott, you might go on a rant.
Uh-oh.
Ready to start interviewing agents. What questions should I ask a prospective real estate professional to determine their ability to sell my home?
First and foremost, their familiarity with that neighborhood, that house sits in.
So what's the question? What do I ask him?
I'd ask them about
What's your familiarity with the neighborhood?
Well, yeah, and the best answer would be that agent has sold multiple properties in that neighborhood in the past few months, and that's going to be the hands-on experience and best answer right there, because they know what the market is, they know what's driving the market, they've sold recently, they basically got the plan down for that neighborhood. Now, I know a lot of people hire agents or interview them and often go with the referral. But what if the referral's from San Bernardino? Your home's in Long Beach, I mean, two totally different markets. So that would be the first question. How many homes in that neighborhood have they sold recently? It comes down to, though, ultimately who you feel most comfortable with, who's giving you the most realistic answers.
How do you ask that question? Am I comfortable with you?
Well, hey, it comes
Trust your gut.
It comes down to
Trust your gut.
how they answer your questions. I mean, if they're giving you unrealistic answers and just being yes men, and you tell them you want to price yourself $50,000, $100,000 above the next person just because you got granite countertops, and all they do is yes, let's do that. Let's just it seems like they're doing nothing else but trying to get you to sign on the dotted line and get that listing going. Then really, I'd be a little doubtful of their truthfulness, so.
Scott, what would you ask a real estate professional sitting in your living room?
I think Frank has done a pretty good job of doing it, and I would rely heavily on the gut feeling, and the yes men thing is a really big red flag. So in this market, as a seller, you want to get the most out of your property. Your house is always better than the neighbor's house. You've got these upgrades, all of this. If an agent comes in, if it sounds like they're trying too hard to make it seem like it's going to be no big deal to sell your house, selling a home is not a real super simple, quick and easy. It's going to be a process, and there's going to be a lot of moving parts, and they need to treat it like it's. It's not brain surgery, but it's elective surgery. It's still
elective surgery.
It's a serious deal. It's a serious deal, and they need to go through it. And they need to tell you all the pitfalls, all the things that can go wrong, all the things that you can expect. This is how we're going to try to get the best price on the market. You're laying out your expectations for possibly reducing your listing price.
That's actually what I was going to say. Is I've actually been in a couple of meetings with or realtors I work with a lot. I think the best thing that I've seen somebody do is really just establishing expectations. And every market's going to be different, especially right now.
Yeah.
Make sure you have the proper expectations. Someone's actually prepping you and saying, hey, this is, I kind of like to call it preventative lending, so I think it would also be like preventative selling. I don't know if it's the same thing. But
yeah, I've
just if they're setting up their expectations, that's what I would be looking for.
I've let them know that, okay, I know this is how much you want for your property, and I'm sure you're aware, I'm showing you comps here that we would be $50,000 more than the last equal sale. Yeah. And we can start there, but like Scott pointed out, if we don't see a reaction from buyers out there within 2 weeks, would you be willing to reduce your price around more realistically around here where I feel it should be, And I've actually had, I asked the question myself when I eventually do get that listing. I asked him, what was it that we spoke of that helped you make that decision to choose me? And 9 times out of 10, I've had people say, well, because it seemed like you told me the blunt and honest truth. And, you set my expectation not lower, not higher, but right where it needed to be, which was realistic,
Okay, before we move on to the next segment, I'm just going to add, I would definitely ask them, what are they going to do to market my house? I think that marketing is completely changed, and I still sit in, living rooms with real estate agents, and they're telling people they're going to put their house in the newspaper, and I just want to throw out.
Seriously?
we're going to put it in the Los Angeles Times.
Well, that
and they think
Is
that
that
that's a
really?
great thing.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
comes back to that question about what, their familiarity
That's
with the
funny.
neighborhood and what is their plan? And, and that comes
Right.
down to the marketing. How
But
are you going to sell my house in this neighborhood? And
But the
basically,
reality is, as soon as that home is known to be available for sale, you're going to have hordes of
I'm
buyers.
gonna say honestly, right now,
Right
today's
now,
market,
yeah, in
a
today's
monkey could
market.
probably sell this.
Easy.
Put it on the
Easy.
MLS.
That's like a 3.5 hour loan. That doesn't happen.